Welcome to the Orlando Injector channel, where we talk all things aesthetics, from injectables to business, complications to confidence, and everything in between. But let's be real, even with my years of experience, I don't pretend to know it all, and that's what this channel is all about. I am bringing you the experts, the pros in their niche that are ready and willing to give you tips and tricks that you can immediately put into action. And I am fired up for our next guest. I mean, she literally needs no introduction. Erika Barry, the Injector Bunny. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I just want to give a little background, not that we need it because we all know how fantastic she is, but
Oh,
Erika Barry is a nurse practitioner, also known as Injector Bunny. She is a top aesthetic injector, international speaker, and sought after trainer for all companies like Galderma, Revance, Evolus, Reveal Lasers, you name it. She owns two acclaimed Maryland practices, Moksha and Resculpt, and founded the renowned training company Aesthetic Intel with Wasim. A pioneer in virtual education, Erika created one of the industry's most successful Patreon platforms where injectors worldwide learn her techniques, anatomy pearls, and business strategies. Off the stage, Erika treasures her time with her adorable son and her husband, Thomas, who is a fancy poker star. And guys, let me tell you, she is literally hopping on a plane to Italy in an hour and a half. So I don't know how I was able to pin her down with her schedule, but we are so happy to have you, Erika.
oh my gosh, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So I want to jump right in. And when I look at you, I see tremendous success. I see somebody, the words "she's made it" come to mind. And you are hands down the most well-known injector in our country, if not internationally. But I know that success didn't happen overnight. I know it's been a long road. I know it's been a lot of bumps and evolution. But when I look at you, I am incredibly inspired. I'm incredibly fired up. I think if she can do it, I can do it. But I know that that mindset can be a little bit rare. I know that some people might look at you and want to tear you down, want to judge you along the way on your growth journey. So I just want to dive right into asking you, was there a moment in your career where you took a second and said, like, "Mama, I made it. Like, I'm incredibly proud of myself." Was there like a particular moment in your entire journey that made you feel just incredibly proud for what you've accomplished?
No,
Fucking love it.
I think that's the secret is like being humbled by my husband who's like, "What? Like what are you doing? Like what?" And he just like doesn't have Instagram, could care less, like thinks it's hilarious when I'm posting something or like us in the airport, he's like, "What are you doing?" And my parents who have no clue what aesthetics is and know they're like super conservative Danish people just they're very humbling and no one they care they love me for me and I think that's the secret is like delusion, like full on delusion. Like I have delusion. Like when someone tells me no, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it anyway. Like always have been that way. And then I think if you sit on your what is the saying? If you sit on your laurels, like success is rented and the rent is due every day. And so for me, I constantly to what fault and I wish sometimes I could sit back and like enjoy a little bit, but I'm like, what's next? What's next? What's next? Like I want to keep building because with aesthetics, there's so much you can do. And
Mm-hmm.
I get so frustrated when people limit themselves. And that's why I say, like, if you own your Instagram handle, if you have an Instagram, you own your own business, get an LLC, get a business credit card, like, get an accountant, get an attorney, like, because it's just so frustrating when people limit themselves because you can do anything. You really can. And one day I'll sit back and be like, wow, that was fun.
Not
But
today, though. Not
not
today.
today.
I'm in a season where I am so incredibly happy, but so incredibly burnt out at the same time. And I've never been more happy and more burnt out at once. And I know this abundance is everything I've ever wanted. And I feel so blessed to feel like I'm being pulled in a million directions. But mom guilt is real, family guilt is real. All of that is real. I'm sitting there and training injectors, trying to write my next book, do all these things to fuel my own heart and my own growth journey, but then you're being pulled from the family. One thing when I look at you from an outsider looking in on your social media, I feel like you have this incredible ability to book the vacation, to be present on the vacation, to work like a dog, but then focus in on the vacation, focus in on the family. Do you ever struggle with balance, or is it a skill that you've learned to just put it aside, be here with the family, and then pick it right back up? Or is it something that you do struggle with?
I think the moment I learned there is no balance,
Yeah.
there is no balance ever. The moment you like get that in your head, then you're you extremely happy. Like I am not a balanced individual. I never have. I've always been like the one playing 100 sports, 100 clubs, like wanting to be like definitely overachiever. I probably need a therapist or a drug or something to, to
Or
like help
or
me, but or both. And I've always been that way and I thrive on it.
yeah.
And when I'm sitting, I'm like, wait, something is wrong. I don't like that. That's not fun for me. And that's why I love our job. I love to train. Like when I train someone and you do it, like you see them, like the light bulb goes off and they're so happy. And people say, like, because of you, I'm able to do this. Like that feeling, that is better than any money. Like money's great. Money comes and goes. Money will always come. Great, great. But like to make someone happy and to make them feel worthy, gosh, like I could cry. Like that is the best feeling in the world. So
Know
my
that you like literally contributed to somebody's growth.
yeah, yeah, it's huge. But like I don't have a social life. So what people don't see is like I don't have a social life. I'm very disciplined. I go to bed every night at 9 p.m. I don't drink during the week. I don't go out during the week. I come home and I'm with my family and then I go balls to the wall on the weekend when it comes to training or conferences or whatever. But that is the secret. Like you have to find a way to like be present in every moment. And I'm very good. Like, okay, I'm mom hat on. Great. Phone is on airplane mode. Okay, now I'm on owner like hat on. Like I'm very good at wearing different hats and being present in the moment
Mhm.
because I set up the systems. Like if you don't have the system set up, then it is impossible. So you have to have caregivers to help obviously your family. You have to have like a very disciplined kind of thing where people are like, I can't get up at 5 a.m. Like, well, what time do you go to bed? Well, 1 a.m. Well, that's why you can't get up at 5 a.m. Like
Yeah.
you have to have the systems in place to order to be disciplined to wake up at 5 a.m. or like work out first. For me, you're the same way. Working out is a
Mhm.
must. Like, I don't care what is happening. The world could be on fire. My ass is at the gym. Like, that is what I start my day off with because it gets my mind right and allows me to do all the hard things. And if you can wake up at 5 a.m. and you can do a HIIT class, you can handle a mean patient or you can handle a disgruntled employee. Like, those are things that you can really handle, but you don't have balance ever.
Yeah. I am such a psycho about my routine. I had the
Yes.
worst night of sleep the other night because my daughter had growing pains, but I
Oh,
had set my alarm for 5:30 or 4:30 to go to the gym by 5. And I still got up and my mom was like, just sleep. I'm like, why? Like, I'll just be tired during my workout. Who cares? Like, and then I left the gym and I was like, I'm so glad I went. Was it my best workout ever? No, but it starts my day off. And it's honestly my favorite hour of like mental creativeness, clarity. Like, I do so much in my head while I'm working out. It's actually crazy.
no, it literally is. I have my phone with me and like I try not to be rude in like a yoga class or whatever, but I'll have like an idea for a post or a Patreon or something and I'll like get my phone out quickly and take a note because when you're
Yes.
exercising, all that blood flow goes to your head. And that's where when people are struggling with depression or they feel weird or like feel like an outcast in aesthetics, I'm like, just get your ass in the treadmill, just walk at an incline for 30 minutes. I think these are like the little things you can do to feel in control because you can control that workout. You can control what time you wake up. But aesthetics is a lot of variables. Like wherever I think I know the next step, like the
Mhm.
PDGF thing, or that's like a perfect like I like think I know what I'm doing, and then all of a sudden I'm like, boom, like I get hit with all this like controversy and or I'll think I'm saying the right thing and I say something and it's like doesn't resonate with anyone and I'm like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have said that. And so you never know, but you can control your workout.
It's funny that you mentioned that because that is something that I wanted to bring up. Like, again, I couldn't care less about what your opinion is on PDGF. But when I look at you and I see that, let's call it, for lack of a better phrase, social media battle, right? That's
Yeah.
going on Instagram. What I see from that whole thing, regardless of your opinion, is how much Erika Barry's word weighs. And you have this incredible pressure to say the right thing at all times. Like, God forbid you make a mistake. God forbid you evolve and change a technique that you once did and now you're doing something else because you've evolved just like everybody else has. But your word means so much more than the average injector. How do you handle that scrutiny, that pressure? Do you sometimes let out a good ugly cry, or are
Yeah.
you just always like fiercely able to handle this scrutiny and just kind of power through?
No, I break down. Lately, it's been a lot more just because things, I was like the end of summer is like conference season. And
Yeah.
then September, October, my next, until the end of the year, I'm like going every single day. Like there's no, I don't have a single day off. Like even in Italy, like I've planned out, and this sounds like psychotic, but every day I have a plan of like Patreon, Instagram,
Yeah.
TikTok, like messages, emails. But I think pressure is a privilege. Whenever I start to feel, especially I go to my husband, he's South African and very, they have a very like a demeanor. It's like almost sarcastic, but they're
Yeah.
very much like they're not a woe is me
Right.
culture at all. So I go to him, I'm like, oh my God, this happened, this happened. He's like, you chose this. Like if you don't want this pressure, you simply delete your Instagram account. You simply just do the bare minimum. You'll still do great. And I'm like, but I don't want that. Like I want to be the most. I want to be learning the most, but I'm the first to always say I do not what I say is not the Bible. I always say like what I'm doing, it's like a Lee Walker thing, but like I'm simply sharing with you what's worked well for me. That's it.
Yeah.
It's not the Bible. It's not like I've learned a lot along the way. I keep the old stuff up there because I want people to see, like, oh my God, the crap I used to do, like
Yeah.
the embarrassing things I used to do. But I think, who knows, like, we're constantly learning. And that's why I think it's good to have different opinions. When people want to criticize and shut things out, I'm like, no, we really need to hear all the different sides because we learn more. When someone says something, I like think about things for better or for
Mhm.
worse. Even the trolls make me think, like, maybe I shouldn't have worn that, or maybe I shouldn't have done that, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. But it is hard.
I imagine it's so hard because I will say, like, I always feel like I'm the hardest worker in the room. I'm a go-getter. I'm always trying to like achieve more and more and more, but I'm also
Yeah.
sensitive at the same time. And
Yeah.
I'm learning to release that burden of other people's opinions. As I've grown with the little growth I've had, I realized that not everybody wants to see you succeed. The people who you thought would be cheering you on aren't necessarily cheering you on. Have you
Yeah.
ever been in a room where you felt dismissed or you felt not taken seriously or you felt like you are constantly having to prove yourself on a podium to be taken seriously? Has there ever been a situation where you felt you had to prove yourself because you were being dismissed, and how did you handle that?
Oh my gosh, of course. I think that is just life. I'm sorry, if you want to be in aesthetics, you have to prove yourself every day, and it is constantly taxing. I think the first time was probably when I first started doing podium, which was like 2018, 2019, and it was a rhinoplasty convention, which I'm like, why the hell am I here? But long story why I was there. But it was basically, that's like what made me coin the 8 point lift. Was I had to speak in front of all these surgeons. I was just a nurse practitioner, just an injector. I didn't even own my place at the time. I felt very inadequate. And my grandmother is definitely the person that was like, she was like me, giant, tall. And she's like, listen, you're either going to be the tallest, most awkward person in the room, like lunched over in the corner, or you're going to walk in, like she said, like tits out, walk out, tits out, and you're going to be proud. And people are going to notice you regardless because you are a giant. So you're going to have to deal with it. And so that confidence is definitely what kind of fueled me and be like, you know what? I'm up here. I might as well do the best freaking job in the world. I remember I was like stuttering through my whole presentation and it went great. So that's
I
all that
know.
matters.
I'm learning. The phrase that constantly pops into my head is you are not responsible for how your growth journey makes other people feel. And I'm learning that as I grow or as anybody grows, it's going to trigger certain people in your life, and your instant reaction is to kind of like tone it back or scale it back because you feel like you're being too much, right? And it's the opposite of what we should be doing. We
Yeah.
should, I mean, we have to, in order to achieve certain goals, like we have to be obsessed. We have to be bigger than life. We have to be in your face. We have to be consistent. So toning it down and scaling back is the absolute opposite. And that phrase of you are not responsible for how your growth journey makes other people feel kind of helps me power through and say, just post it. Who cares? Like, if you get
Yeah.
one like, who cares? Post something else and just
No.
keep going and not do. What do you say to the provider who is trying to build this big brand but is terrified of criticism, terrified of being judged?
I kind of like this thing. I'm a big into like David Goggins and
Yep.
all like the ultra marathoners. And I love this. Like, if you think about every night when we go to sleep, we have to act like we're asleep, right? We like close our eyes to like pretend we're asleep, but we're not asleep yet. Like, that's the only way you sleep is to like to pretend you're sleeping and then you fall asleep. For success, you better go out there and fake it till you make it. Like, act like you already have a successful brand. Act as if you are the most successful person out there. And like, for me, it's this perception. Like, I could really care less. I mean, I'm a very actually introverted person. I'm good at working in the room. I'm very confident, so I can go out there and then that's through like my parents. I have confidence. I think sports taught me a lot of confidence. But for me, I'm like, I'm gonna go out there and just smile even when I'm, have period cramps, back pain. I mean,
Mhm.
how miscarriages, like it doesn't matter. I'm like, I'm here. And for me, this is like a perfect example. Today's podcast, lots going on, but nothing is more important than you right now. Nothing else exists. And people can feel that presence. And so whenever you feel insecure, just realize everyone else feels the same way. You just have to show up. And if you put that person, you make them feel the power of presence. And it's like charisma. If you're warm and you're present and you're powerful, that is it. That is the secret. And anyone can do it. It is hard. And I think people think, oh, you're born with confidence. Confidence is just like weightlifting, just like running. If you practice and practice and practice, it will get better and it will get easier. But there's many days where I am not confident. I'm not feeling myself. Just it is what it is. But if you go out and just act like it, like fake it till you make it, that's the secret. And then it's just over and over and over again.
I couldn't agree more. I always say if you showed up only on the days that you felt good or you felt like you should, like you'll never make it. You have to
Okay.
show up every single day even when you don't feel like it. And it's that classic like when you're lacking motivation, discipline comes in.
Yeah.
And that's how it is with social media. I actually loathe social media. I can't
Oh yeah.
stand it, but it's necessary. It is 100% necessary for our industry to grow as if you just want to be an injector and build your books, or if
Yeah.
you want to step on stage, whatever it is, social media matters. So you
Yeah.
have to show up consistently. And you, I feel like, bring us in so well into your life. Like you give us so much from your fertility journey to you stepping on stage to you having a bad day, and you show up so authentically and it resonates so well with so many people. So it truly is so inspiring what you do. And every time you post, I'm like, God damn it, I have to post too. But you show up consistently, and I know that there are days where you don't want to, but you're like, mm-mm, like discipline.
Yeah, 100%. And like, I think people always ask me, like, when did you feel ready to open your own place? When did you feel ready for this? I'm like, being ready is not a feeling. And I think that's another like aha moment. Like, it's not a feeling, it's a decision. Like, you decide. That's it. Like, you decide and you do it.
Mhm.
And I remember starting my Patreon. I started in 2017. And Thomas, my husband, so Patreon was like a gamer app. I don't know if people
Yep.
like knew this.
Yep.
It's a gamer app, and he's a big gamer. And he's like, if you're gonna do this, you better follow through. Like people are going to be depending on you. Like you better not let them down. And so for me, I'm like made it at least a promise to do at least 5 posts a week. Some days, it's like 5 posts all in one day or whatever. But like that is my thing. And since 2017, I've never let that go. And that's like my husband kind of in my ear, like, listen, if you're gonna do this, like you cannot let people down. So now it's like I have employees, I cannot let them down, or I have people that are like looking up to me. I cannot let them down. And it feels good. Like, how many people get to say that? And I think it's just, again, a decision that you have to follow through with and you don't feel like it. Some days I'm like, F aesthetics. I want to quit. Like to Wasim last week, I was like, the whole PDGF. I'm like, I'm so done being like the PDGF poster child. I'm just like over it. And I was just like complaining to him. And he's like, okay, you done bitching? I'm like, yep. He's like,
Yep.
that was your 5 minutes. Like, move on. And I'm like, okay. And that's, you need someone in your life like that. That's why I say either on my Patreon or through your training, find a buddy that you allow them or they allow you to bitch for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, you're done. Move on with your life. Like, think about, we get to have cell phones. Like, we get to post on social media. Like, we get to inject people for a living. Like, we are so lucky. So the moment you kind of change that like internal dialogue too, you're like, wow, I am so lucky to have these problems. People would die to have these problems, and here I am
So
just
true.
complaining.
It's so true. But I mean, the abundance is still abundant, right? Like a lot of good is still a lot. So
Yeah.
I think humanizing it and saying, like, yeah, I let out a good cry and then I put my big girl panties on and I realize how blessed I am that
Mm.
everybody's talking about it. That's something that I'm bringing to the table is something that's creating a lot of buzz. And while we might not have all the answers yet, I'm a part of the conversation. So I still think, regardless of what side of the line you stand on, I think you guys have handled yourself really, really well in that conversation. So from an outsider looking in, I think it's just you're only contributing to the growth of our industry, whether we have all the answers or not. I am classically the person that I don't know if you ever heard of the phrase that wins their life away. So I'm always the person that I'm like, when I sell X amount of books, I'll be happy. When I step on this specific stage, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
And before I even get to that goal, I'm already setting my next one. And there's never
Yeah.
a moment where like I'm really sitting in that moment and celebrating or being proud because I realized I've reached that goal. All right, let's bump it up. Let's set another one. I'm not
Yeah.
happy because my husband's like, you're never satisfied, you're never proud. And I'm like, because I know I can do more. So why am I proud? Because
Hmm.
I'm here. I know I can be over here. So for me, I'm winning my life away and I'm trying to learn to sit there and have a moment of like, well, I've sold X amount of books. Let's go out to dinner and let's
Yeah.
celebrate for a night. It doesn't have to be this long drawn out vacation, but let's have a moment where we cherish these little mile markers.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would literally just bulldoze towards goal after goal after goal. Is that something that resonates with you, or are you good about
Oh.
celebrating yourself along the way?
No, I'm like you. You and I are twins. I'm the exact same way. I actually recently dove into like The Secret of Success, or it's a book, but basically people that are really highly ambitious, high achievers have this disease, and it's like they did a study on brains, like they did a cadaver study on brains of people like methamphetamine users, heroin users, these people that are addicted to these like dangerous drugs, and it's the same neural pathways, the same pathways as high achievers, like I swear to God. And it's basically like a hit, like I get this like dopamine rush when I get, an achievement through this, or asked to speak at a conference, or these accolades. And it's definitely a disease of like, I think, I don't know if you play sports, but if you played sports, like, oh, you won, oh, you scored the winning goal, or like I'm definitely trying to like change that pathway with my son,
Yeah.
where I'm saying good job for trying hard, not good job for like winning the game. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause success is so dangerous because it is like that hit, the dopamine hit, the dopamine hit. But now I'm definitely where things that like my family, like sitting down on the couch and watching football with my family is so enjoyable. Or having that like glass of wine is so enjoyable because I think you're the same way, like what do they call it? Like a starvation person, where I'm like, no, I cannot drink Monday through Friday. So that Friday night drink, I'm like, oh, it's so good because I
You're like,
don't allow myself. Yeah, I'm like,
yeah,
oh my gosh. So
yeah,
I think that's where I tell people to celebrate your success to a degree. Stay humble. I think the moment you get a big head and you're like, oh, I have all these followers, Instagram is so fake. I use it for my business and my business only. It is a fake world. I am very real on it. I try to be real, but still in my realness, I'm still curated. I'm still like,
mhm,
ooh, I need to talk about this promo. So I'm going to start posting this like full face rejuvenation and talk about like everything is leading up to me doing something for my business. So I think people need to keep that in mind, and don't take it too seriously. Because if you do, then people get sad.
yeah,
Cyberbullying, whenever I get a troll, I'm like, it's just fake. It's just fake. If she was there in real life, she's probably like 5'1" and she would like run away from you. Like, just smile, be kind, because hurt people hurt. Who says mean things on the internet? Like, you're obviously hurting very bad. Oh, sorry. You're obviously hurting very bad if you are,
yeah.
saying mean things on the internet.
Have you ever heard of the phrase? I kind of diagnosed myself a couple weeks ago. It's called compulsive productivity.
Oh yeah.
And
That sounds like
it sounds like something you would
sounds
be.
like me.
Perfect. So I'll tell you a story of what compulsive productivity is. My husband and my daughter and I the other day had a Sunday where I called it like a bed rot day, where we did nothing. I maybe did a load of laundry, but I really didn't do anything. And I was feeling good, relaxing and stuff. And then like 5 p.m. hit, and I had this overwhelming sense of anxiety, of a wasted day, of, oh my God, I haven't crossed anything off of my list. And I look at my husband, I'm like, I haven't done anything today. And he's like, it's okay, you had a day off. I'm like, absolutely not. So I literally put on a little bit of makeup, sat in this chair, and recorded a quick YouTube video.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, the physical weight that came off of my chest just because I felt like I moved the needle that day and I didn't waste a day was powerful. And so I looked into this more, and there is a diagnosis of compulsive productivity where you have this need. I'll read the definition. It refers to a persistent, hard to control drive to stay busy and accomplish tasks, often far beyond what's healthy or necessary. People experience it may feel anxious, guilty, or restless when they're not getting something done, even during times meant for rest or leisure. Is this you?
Yeah. Yeah, but I honestly, okay, so this is so nerdy of me, but I'm big into like biology and hormones and like why are we the way we are? Like why are Danish people like me, 6'1", blonde hair, blue eyes, like why do we have this prominent brow bone? Well, because it's cold and we have to protect our eyes. And why do like, Middle Eastern or African American or Italian people like their eyes are more outset? Well, it's hot. They're closer to the equator. Like for women, we are gatherers. We are supposed to be gathering fruit and nuts all day and taking care of like what at the time like 8 children, like technically speaking, like you're supposed to be able to like go 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 all day. Versus men, it's like they go out, kill one lion, and then they're like spending all this energy and then they like sit for 3 days. So that helps me understand who I am. And like I look at my husband and he's the direct opposite in a good way.
Right.
But I think it's like you just accept who you are to a healthy degree. I have very bad anxiety. But I'm like I control it with exercise, and I have very bad anxiety when it comes to if I have all these things pending. So I'm not a procrastinator. For me, I'm like just like, like anything when someone's like, "Can you do this?" I'm like, "Yes," because I don't want to put it off. I do
Mhm.
not reschedule. Like the only thing I'll ever reschedule is like a time, but I will never reschedule a day. Like I will figure out a way to make it work. This is my little Frankie. If you hear a
I have one that's pawing at my door right now, the same kind. So I can relate so much, and I've learned the older I get, the more okay I am with who I am.
yeah,
And I just laugh at myself. Like I am the person that I'm gonna freak out at 5 p.m. if I haven't gotten anything done, and I'll go film a video and then I'll feel better. I
yeah,
am the person that's wound too tight. I am the person that is super organized with my schedule that has to get a 4:30 workout in when everybody's
yeah,
hung up. Like I am who I am. And the older I get, the more I'm not trying to be anybody else, and I'm really comfortable in the craziness that I am. To somebody else, it might not be normal, but it's me. And I
yeah.
think once you really sit comfortably in that, then you can figure out things that help you navigate and make you less anxious, like working out and having your schedule super intact and all of these things. So I think it's so important, but that compulsive productivity is 1,000%, 1,000% me.
Oh yeah. And I think when injectors ask me like what can I do to grow? How do I grow myself? How do I become more successful? I honestly say if you become comfortable being uncomfortable, that's the
Yep.
secret. Become like being uncomfortable is what I mean biologically drives us. So like for example, when you're a caveman and you're hungry, it drives you to like get a rock and like go kill an animal. Like that is the but now in today's society we have like air conditioning, we have food, we have grocery stores, like we don't have that, so we're creating anxieties that don't exist.
Hmm.
So I just say like you have to become uncomfortable, so when you want to try something new or open a practice, I'm like you freaking have to do it. Like it is so hard, but become comfortable with that feeling of the unknown. And they say like humans are more likely to stay in like terrible relationships or like terrible situations because it's harder to change that you
Yeah.
rather just stay in. I'm like, some people are like working for terrible employee or owners or they're in terrible situations, like, but you just change it. Like you have the power to change it, but it is very hard. I get it. Financially, time commitment, scary, like it is very hard, but you're gonna be fine. You're gonna figure it
And
out.
I know you mentioned it, but it is starting before you're ready. Like when I
Okay.
started this YouTube channel, everybody's like, "Oh, how'd you start your YouTube channel?" I'm like, I just set up a camera and mounted it to a wall and started
Yeah.
talking. And my first video sucks. And every video after that gets a little bit better. And then every interview gets a little bit more comfortable. But it truly is starting before you're ready and
Yeah.
not waiting for everything to be perfect and not letting that like cringe feeling cripple you.
Oh yeah. No, I think if you don't feel cringe, you're not pushing hard
I
enough.
know. It's so
I really it's funny you say you like Mr. Beast. Do you know who Mr. Beast is? He's
Yep.
a YouTube. Yeah. So he just basically says like your first 100 videos are gonna be crap. First
I
1,000, maybe a little bit better. He's like, talk to me after 10,000 videos, then talk to me about like improving. But he just basically was like, I'm gonna do one video a day, then that turned into three. And he like just and that's what I say for new injectors. If you want to build a platform, simply this sounds so dumb, just post one time a day. Just one in feed post a day, figure it out. Like, no matter what, post one in feed a day, 10 stories every day. That's it. Just like, you don't have to have any training. Anyone can do that.
Yeah.
But I know it is daunting to like even say something every day. Most people can't do.
It is daunting because you are essentially putting yourself out there to be judged. I mean,
Oh,
that
yeah.
is what social media is. So it is terrifying, especially for the newer injector that hasn't figured out their brand. People always ask me, and I'm sure you've gotten this question 1,000 times, is like, how'd you figure out your brand? And I always say, just throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks and just showing up every day, and your brand kind of evolves. And I joke, I was talking at Aesthetic Next, I will never be the dancing singer
Mm.
social media Instagram girl that
Yeah.
I've kind of evolved into. I love educating and having
Yeah.
conversations and stuff. So it's literally just throwing spaghetti at the wall, feeling cringe and being like, I didn't really like that. Let me do this instead. And just continuously showing up. And I always say there's no shortcut to becoming an expert, right? So in
Oh, yeah.
anything. So it's just showing up, doing something, not liking it, changing it, doing something, liking it, and then continuing to do that. And it just organically falls into place. You have to show up.
Yeah, but a brand is merely your personality. So when people are like, "What's my brand? What's my?" I'm like, "No, no, no, no. Like your brand is just you. It's just who you are.
Mhm.
That you have to like show over time. So if you don't really know who you are, it is very difficult to brand yourself. The more you just hone into like, I just show what I like. Like that is it. I love fashion. I love sports. I'm like super one of those like a good sports movie, a good Disney sports movie. Oh my gosh, I could be crying the whole like I love all of things team athletic and showing it. So for me, I just show my sports teams. I show fashion I love. I show celebrity stuff like that is stuff I'm into. If you're not into that, if you show it, it will become inauthentic if people can feel that. So whatever
Mhm.
you're leaning towards, show it.
I love that. Well,
Yeah.
I want to end with two questions. To the driven person out there that is feeling overwhelmed, trying to be the best parent, the best spouse, the best friend, all while trying to feed their relentless pursuit for more personal growth, what advice would you have for them?
It's gonna make me cry. Which is a really good question. That's such a good question. Oh my God, I don't know why. I'm like not, maybe I'm PMSing. Like I'm trying to figure out why that
It's
makes
for
you cry.
fertility.
I know, like, holy moly, that was such a good question. I think that, like, you're enough. Really, I'm such a perfectionist and so driven, but really with motherhood, I struggled. Like, when I had Jack, when I look at all these moms and like, Instagram was like, I hated it. Like, when I opened Instagram, I was like, this is terrible. I saw all these postpartum moms thriving and like just going on these walks and doing like the newborn photo shoot. I don't know if you did that with your
No,
little girl.
no.
I'm like, how the fuck do you get I couldn't even like figure out how to, and I'm such a driven person that get up in the morning, work out, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, I couldn't even function. I was so overwhelmed. And I'm only child. So I'd never had been around kids. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I figured out they just need love. That's it. I'm figuring it out. I'm growing up as he's growing up. I'm figuring it out. Like every new day he has is a new day with me. As long as I show him love, like that's all that matters.
That's so
That truly
true.
is what it is. But, as long as you're around. Like that's the thing. Like I can be gone for a couple days, but when I'm home with him, I am home with him and I
Mhm.
choose him over everything else. So I really try to put myself first, but let's be honest, I put him first. And then just the little snuggles, the little things like money doesn't mean anything to them. Gifts, toys, who cares? They literally just want your time. So when you're with them, put your phone down and be present. And you're gonna screw up. And like I just look at my parents, and my parents are my best friends, and they are definitely the biggest motivator. And they just show me unconditional love always. Whenever I'm unsure or I screw up, they're just there to kind of catch me. So just be there and catch your kid.
I know. When you really look back on your childhood, you don't remember a single toy. You don't remember you remember how your parents made you feel. You remember how
Mhm.
safe you felt. You remember how present they were. So we think like we got to make all this money, we got to make all this money, right? But at the end of the day, you're right. All they want is, and they really only want that for like 10 years, and then we're going to be like
I
hated
know.
for like
Oh my God.
5 years.
No, I cannot. No, like I honestly tell my husband's like, you need therapy. I'm like, no, he's marrying me. Like we're gonna be like, he's gonna live with us forever. He's like, oh my God, you're psychotic. But the thought of that just makes me, that's too overwhelming to even think about. Like he will be with me forever.
Forever and ever. So, what is next for Miss Erika Barry? Like, what excites you coming in the future? Like, what are you excited about coming up?
No, I think learning just like you that I can slow down. I can say no to things and have better boundaries and still be successful and still give back to my community if I say no to something. So I think slowing down excites me a little bit. I
Sure.
think the next generation, you are just freaking killing it. You're so amazing. You're so incredible. And kind of, I think a lot of injectors get nervous about like, oh, I'm phasing out and the next generation. I'm so excited by that because the new technology we have, regenerative medicine, the trainings we have, the cool things that we have now, the next generation of injectors are going to be unstoppable. They're really going to be just the best ever. And so that really excites me to train the next injector. Like
Yeah.
that's it. That's all I want to do is just be a part of it. And it's gonna be like handing the baton, like, okay, you got it.
Yeah.
And just enjoying my family. And I don't know, I want to do something with skincare. Like that excites me because skincare I feel very inept. I feel very great at injecting, feel super inept with regenerative medicine. So I want to be more regenerative, peptides, hormone replacement therapy, and skincare because those are like the three areas I feel really unsure of. So
Yeah.
excited. Like there's so many cool things.
And it's so, I feel like you're like me, where it's uncomfortable to not be an expert in something, but it's also really exciting because you know you don't back down from a challenge and you
Yeah.
just have to learn and put in the time and put in the effort, and you know you'll come out on the other side feeling better about it. But I always find a challenge to be so exciting. But one thing you hit on that I want to touch on before we get off is you said saying no to things and still being able to make an impact and everything. And one thing I'm learning is, for example, I've been asked to do a whole bunch of trainings lately. And at first I was just saying yes to everything, and I'm always the I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
Uh-huh.
I'll figure it out. And I realized that all that's doing is putting pressure on my family and not allowing me to show up how I want to show up for my family. Everybody
Mhm.
else in the industry is taken care of but me. And one thing that I'm learning lately is I have to be able to drop off my daughter and pick her up from school because my husband's
Yeah.
schedule is crazy. So I'm telling people and I'm setting this boundary of like, I can only do the training from this time to this time. I
Hmm.
can't get there early and I can't stay late. And if that works for you, great. If it doesn't, let's pick another day, whatever the case may
Yeah.
be. But I'm learning to set that boundary so that I can continue to be the mom I want to be while still pursuing the growth that I want to pursue.
Oh
And so
yeah.
I think setting those boundaries allows you to show up who you like, authentically you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do that all the time. Trainings. I try to make people happy and like do it all. But I'm like, can we combine these three together? And I do the exact same
Yeah.
thing. For me, my drop off and pick up is extremely important as a mom. It's so funny because like my husband's like, I don't
I
care.
know.
But as a mom, I'm like, I have to be there. Like I have to see his
Yeah.
face. And so I think that's extremely important. And it's okay to say no. It's okay to pass an opportunity. Like it really is. It's the world's not going to end. I think you just have to be consistent. That is definitely the key to success is consistency. Showing up when you don't want to, And then I think in our industry, the biggest thing is be kind. Like, I honestly, even when someone's being shitty to me, I think about like, just let's flip the coin. Like, let's imagine you're in their shoes. Just try to always be kind. Even if someone's being nasty to you, maybe there's something going on. Maybe you don't know something. So just always leave with kindness
I
because you
can
never
tell
know.
that's who you are because I'll scroll through the PDGF comments and you're like, "Oh, I really appreciate that feedback. I'm definitely going to factor that in." And they just like called you the meanest name in the book and you're like, "Thanks so much."
Honestly, it's like awkward too. I think being an only child, I didn't have siblings, so I didn't learn how to fight. I don't have any confrontation skills. So when someone comes at me, they're so surprised. I'm like, I don't have words to say back because I don't have fighting skills. So I just
I
like,
love that.
okay,
Well,
love you.
don't ever change because you have, it sounds so cheesy, but you have paved the way for so many of us. I mean, I don't have a Patreon, but you've opened the doors and shown people how to start their own Patreon. You have literally been the pioneer for so many departments of this industry, and it wouldn't be what it is, as cheesy as it sounds, without Injector Bunny. I mean, you have literally paved the way for all of us. And I usually end these interviews with saying, "How can somebody find you?" But I think unless you've been living under a rock, you wouldn't know. But tell everybody where they can find you if they wanted to reach out to you.
Injector Bunny at Instagram, and my Patreon is Injector Bunny. I have two Patrons. I have like a one with all the documents and like consents and everything, and then I think it's just Injector Bunny one or Botox Bunny. I don't know. Just go on Patreon, look up Injector Bunny, and you can always email me at injectorbunny@gmail.com.
Well, thank you so much. I know I've taken so much. I'm inspired. I'm immediately going to start attacking my list after this while you jump on a plane to Italy. But thank you
Ouch.
so much for taking this hour to just sitting and chatting with me.
Thank you. You are an angel too. I love chatting with you. I feel like we're best friends. I feel like
Oh,
you and I would have like an amazing workout together. Well, you'd kick my butt. You'd probably kick my butt, but it'd be
probably not.
fun.
I'm tired. I'm tired these days.
Same, same. I'm like, oh, just fall off the treadmill.
Well, thank
Yes.
you and have a safe trip to Italy.
Thank you. Bye, love. Thank you.